She says communication with the departed is good for you. Noted academic and professional intuitive past life therapist Dr. Julia Assante uses her investigative skills to research and communicate with the other side. Her life work is to explore and explain the afterlife, angels, reincarnation, telepathy, deathbed visions, spirits, and near-death experiences. Dr. Assante explores what happens when we die in her powerful book, The Last Frontier. Can science prove life after death? Well, nobody knows for sure, as we are all still alive. However, Assante has some shocking proof that may transform your fear of death. Next. It's good to be here with you today and with Dr. Julia Assante. She is a respected academic, a social historian, intuitive, and medium who has a doctorate in archaeology and art history. She has taught at Columbia University and other lauded universities. She is an expert on ancient history and an intrepid investigator of the afterlife. She calls her new book, The Last Frontier.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Well, it's lovely to be here.
Finally, or have we met before?
Oh, no doubt. Many lifetimes, I'm sure.
Okay, then. When did you know you wanted to explore the afterlife?
I started working as what we call now an intuitive in the mid-70s. In about 1983, I started working with dead folk who had difficulty transiting. And that was when it got really interesting, because before then, in almost all private sessions, somebody dead shows up and gives messages. But this was 3 days with this person who had difficulty transiting. And that alerted me to how much work needs to be done and how much people on the other side need help from us. But many years later, I had the most spectacular after-death communication with someone I really loved. And it took forever for me to let him in, 11 days after he died. And in between, there was all these electronic problems in the apartment. This was in New York. The fax twittering, and the phone ringing, and no one was there. But worse was the open door every morning. For a New York City apartment, that's not good.
How did you know he was trying to communicate with you, aside from the open door and the twittering and the strange noises?
These are standard signs.
How inside did you know?
Oh,
did you have a feeling or a tingling?
Yeah, I had been able to watch his death, watch him leave his body. I was with him during that time. So the problem was that I was very much involved as a reverend with his funeral and dealing with his family and that sort of thing. But when I finally let him in, it was spectacular. It went on for an hour. And what shocked me the most was the agony in his face until that contact was made. And then he went into a kind of euphoria and gratitude, this look of love, and sparks flew out around his body. And that's when I realized how we dismiss the people who've died. We dismiss them. We imagine them as perhaps somewhere there, but unattainable.
Fear.
Yeah.
We're afraid.
Oh, yeah.
You talk about in the book how we can contact dead people.
Right.
Those we love, those we don't love. And there are rules how to do it.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So to speak. So if I wanted to contact my dead friend, my grandmother, how would I do that?
Well, it isn't really a matter of intellectual curiosity. It's a matter of need and desire. It's when you need to do it. That's generally when they'll come in the most cleanly. Sometimes they'll do it as a joke or just as a hello. Also, I should mention right here is that we have a lot more contact than we realize. There's mental intrusions, when your thoughts change abruptly, and where did that come from? That's often from someone from the other side, or you'll hear music in your head and realize that the lyrics mean something to that piece of music, or the music itself is strongly associated with someone. So there's a lot of spontaneous contact from their end toward us that we dismiss or ignore. You can't ignore some of them. But in order to do it deliberately, really desire is your greatest force.
Okay.
Genuine emotion.
And I hear you say that the dead actually want to visit us.
Almost always.
Almost always.
Almost.
Almost.
Yeah.
When not?
I think there's some people who really are finished, or who really didn't like this experiment, being in the flesh. And, or sometimes they have no interest in communicating. There is this notion, it's a very old Vedic notion of they're too transcendent. But the human spirit works in many dimensions at once, and multitasking is a big thing with people on the other side, or the deceased. So they can be transcendent, and they can reach us at the same time. This is not a problem for them. Time is not a problem for them. They can even sort of record a message that we'll get in a few years. And they have all these kinds of possibilities that we dismiss too. And we assume that they are in a place and in a kind of time zone that must be compatible to ours, and that's just not true.
Why is it good for us to talk to the departed, to communicate with the departed?
Oh, there's so many reasons. One is reconciliation. That's probably the main reason. Forgiveness. Many people on the other side carry a lot of remorse, or we might carry a lot of remorse. And then you get to have an immortal family, immortal friends, and that changes your life. When you have a continuity, continuous contact, which is what I have with my family and friends, it starts to change you. You start to see what the human spirit really is when it has lost its fear of death. It becomes its authentic self. And it's a magnificent, magnificent thing.
Well, you who know how to do this, if you want to contact a former husband,
oh, who would want to do
who
that?
would want to do that? But I know your first husband died like only 11 days after you married him, so I'm assuming you still liked him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how would you do it? You talk out loud.
Yeah, first is you get very still. You make an invocation of some sort, an intention that whatever happens is for the best good of all things, including yourself. And then you have to start really calling that person in like a beeper. And that's where your genuine emotion works the best, because it works like a beeper light on, right? Genuine emotion, no meditation, no being spiritual, no being, aggression, not being fearful to make demands, really. And so you start to give the name out. If it's your father, you don't use father, use daddy, whatever has the most power in it, and call on him. Go still, don't expect and don't even want to see things outside of yourself, but you'll start to feel very often a presence. For me, it comes in the form of almost like an electrical tingling, and a lot of people that happens to a lot of people. And start to look for mental images and listen for mental messages. And if you are not clear about something, ask to hear it again, or ask for the deceased to be clearer, to repeat, to be louder, or to say it in another way, to express it in another way. Most of it's going to be visual, actually.